What's going on, everyone? Christian Hernandez here with Sports Video Group. We're here with the latest edition of our SVG On Demand series. We are in the thick of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. We're here with Matt Celli. He is the VP and Coordinating Director of NHL Studios. He just so happens to be in the new-looking studios in the New York office. Matt, how you doing, sir? And let's talk about the playoffs real quick. How are the finals kind of faring out? I'm a Ranger fan, so I got let down a little bit. But from your standpoint, how excited are you for this awesome final that you guys have?
I mean, listen, it's a dream matchup. You know, it's two great teams, a lot of history between them. Tampa coming in off of winning the previous two, and Colorado, coming in and having a lot of great young stars. So it's a really great matchup.
All right, we're currently recording this on Thursday, right? Tomorrow is Friday. This is released on that Friday. So this series may be a done deal if Colorado gets that last win. But before it's put to bed, or before we go to another game, we're here to talk about Third Period Live. It's a cool nice little programming that you guys are doing to kind of give fans an inside look into the series and the playoffs and things that's going around the league. So take me back to when you first started it, Matt. Talk about the inception of the show and what the league wanted to accomplish with this type of programming.
Absolutely. So Steve Mayer, our chief content officer, challenged our group to say, hey, we want to build up our YouTube content. We want more people to tune in. We want to spread the message of what the NHL is and get content out to as many people as possible. Okay. And so we came up with the idea along with Paul Vinciguerra, who is in charge of our digital and social sort of content on YouTube. And we wanted to say, how can we develop unique content for the YouTube channel? And so we ended up coming up with this idea where during the third period of the conference finals, we're going to jump in and almost have like a watch party where we have talent in our brand new studio and they interact with the fans and the people who are watching on YouTube. We take questions. We have several talent in different locations, watch parties in New York City. We sent them to a couple local bars where there were watch parties. Right. We brought in experts who are part of the NHL family for their insight. And then obviously we had a lot of great guests. And right. So the show just sort of organically took off, and show 10 was dramatically different from show 1.
It's interesting that you say that, because from prior experience speaking to teams or any other leagues, that's kind of the trend that's been going on ever since the pandemic started, the idea of the second screen experience. So you're watching the live telecast on the linear channel, but then when you got nothing to do, you're going to either the bathroom or getting something to drink or something to eat, and you want some entertainment. Cool thing, you flip on the YouTube channel and you get some interaction with your crew. You mentioned a lot about going to the different talents, going to bars and stuff like that. Talk about some of the features or crucial core segments that fans will see when they flip on the program.
The show was built on, the relationships that our talent have, mm-hmm. and that, we as production people have with different guests. And those are all great things. And like you mentioned, those things are kind of been done out there with watch parties and stuff. And so what we wanted to do also that kind of makes us unique is to wrap the show around the NHL's edge data and their puck and player tracking. And so, what ends up happening is that the show is kind of in a box, and on the one side and at the bottom, there's graphical information and data about what's happening in the game, from ice time to, hardest shot, stuff like that.
Right. Mixing in the traditional stats like skate, time on ice and regular shots on goal, but also the advanced metrics that fans like me or fans that are more analytical part of the game, that'd be interesting, kind of mixed to see how it kind of impacts the plays and the course of the game. I know based on your background, you look to be in the studio, which is great. Most people would say that's a fake backdrop, but it is not. Can you discuss a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff that makes your job easy? So, workflows in the control room that you guys have, or, some of the LED displays that you have behind you.
We're in a world-class facility. There's, a ton of LED screens in here, light boxes that can all change content and color. Right. The control room is a 2110 infrastructure, bleeding edge technology, place where we hope to be able to do this kind of content, even more robust content for, years and years to come. So all of that kind of stuff is great. Like you said, makes my job a little bit easier. The people that I'm surrounded with probably make that job, even easier. Guys like Tyshawn Black and Dennis DePrimo, who are the engineering backbone, who got this place up and running during a pandemic. And then my right hand, Joe Cincarelli, who's takes care of almost everything in the control room and wears 100 hats. And if he could wear 200, he would probably try and wear 200.
Right, for sure. My colleague Jason Zachman, who and others in the industry from our job know, he was just there speaking to Steve, and he had nothing but great things to say about the tech side and how cool that thing is. And I think NHL fans are spoiled, and they're going to see a lot of cool stuff. But before I let you go, Matt, you mentioned some of the names, of course, but just remark about the show's success and talk about, you mentioned the future and stuff like that. Where do you see this kind of going for fans that want to experience more stuff?
The challenge that Steve has sort of put to us is, again, get more content out there, get live content out there.
Right.
And so I would say, coming in the fall, there will be additional shows that we are currently developing that will be in a similar format.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking for unique things. And so we're going to go back and look at this show, what worked, what didn't work, what could be better. And we're going to keep on pushing, the content to drive the NHL message out there to all the social media platforms so that we get more user engagement, so we get more subscriptions, more likes, more follows, all that kind of stuff.
Right. The NHL is always a league that innovates, thinks differently outside the box, and is always trying to push more content out there. So if you're watching, enjoy the current Stanley Cup Finals, but there's a lot to come next season. Matt, thank you for taking the time. Like I said, enjoy the rest of the finals. Take some rest, take some time after the series is over. And it's great getting to chat with you, and hope to see you in person soon.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for having me.